Here is how to make any situation and any circumstance with your specific person work out in your favor. And it can be the difference between waiting months to manifest and literally manifesting tomorrow. And it all has to do with this concept of role playing. And honestly, the fact that I'm making this video, I was thinking, should I make it or should I not? Because this is something I love to use in coaching sessions because it is so powerful. But I'm going to give it to you guys here today. I'm not gatekeeping it anymore because I think this can change your reality overnight. And someone even commented that I saved him so much money from a coach by just watching these videos. So hopefully this absolutely creates a massive shift in your reality as well. But again, it has to do with this concept of role playing. So it's basically more or less, remember, your imagination is your reality. So your mind cannot tell the difference between what is real and what is imagined. And so people actually, this is a concept used to ace interviews, okay? So maybe it's something you've even heard of before or accidentally done yourself. So the idea behind it, and I'll relate this to a specific person because obviously I want you to be with them tomorrow. In an interview, people have found massive benefits from just imagining every single possible question that could be asked during the interview and mentally within imagination answering the question. And there's a couple benefits that actually are created by doing this. And I'll show you how to then have it create and manifest massive movement in your reality, just like it's done in my coaching sessions. So the point of this is when you think of every possible outcome, you're ready, right? You're not going to be worried. You're not going to be anxious. You've basically stayed in the wish fulfilled state. But not only this, it actually improves your confidence or self-efficacy, which is something that is so important. And self-efficacy is just your confidence and your ability in doing something. So if you are asked on a question in the interview that you did not prepare for, you're still going to be so confident because you have created and already seen every possible outcome. Imagine yourself at your job. At your job, you probably are given a lot of circumstances that you've never encountered before, but because you're so good at your job, you are very confident in finding the answer. And so this helps us with manifesting our specific person because it allows us to literally permanently stay in the state. Because one thing that pulls people out of it is this confidence to remain there, meaning that we're worried that what might happen in the future with our specific person. But that's the view of the future is actually what is taking us out of the state. So when we stay in this confidence, when you know whatever happens with your specific person, you are already together in the perfect relationship. This basically eliminates any reaction that we are going to have in our external reality. So the way of doing this is actually, and you can do this with your dates, with text, with phone calls, anything you do, you can make any situation work out in your favor with your specific person. And I literally mean every single one. And when I tell you, again, I wanted so bad to gatekeep this idea, but it is just too good. I literally had to give it to you guys because it works every single time. So the concept is you imagine every possible outcome that can happen with your specific person and you make it work in your favor. And I'll give you a couple options that actually happened within coaching sessions that caused massive changes and massive differences within internal states. So the first one, and this is where this idea of manifesting or imagining every single possible outcome to work out in your favor comes in, because you might still be asking, well, Kyle, I don't get how to use this. So I was talking to someone who was manifesting their specific person, and there was a third party, okay? And they were worried. Well, they were friends with their specific person, and they wanted to meet up. And so they were manifesting a meetup, but they told me they were worried because the third party might be coming along. Their specific person wanted to bring this third party, and they said, it's so detrimental, it's going to ruin the date. But my first thought, again, because everything is working out in your favor already, that's the bridge of events, I asked them, well, why? Why does this have to be working against you? And I used or had them do this specific idea. Because I said, well, if the third party comes, we obviously know the benefits of going with your specific person by yourself because you guys can communicate and talk and become closer. But imagine the third party. If the third party comes, then the attraction grows even more. Because imagine you and your specific person at a bakery and you guys both go to grab the same cookie and your hands touch. Imagine the tension between you two that is only amplified because this third party is there. So you can't talk about it. It has to remain within anticipation and in your imagination. And just imagine that. Imagine how close you and your specific person become just in that aspect. And when I was mentioning this to them and literally having them dive into this role-playing exercise, they were like, oh my gosh, they literally after this wanted the third party to come because they loved that idea or outcome so much better. And so this is the case. Your reality is every single possible outcome is working in your favor. And imagine if they didn't dive into this technique, or we didn't meet up for our coaching call and we didn't go over this idea. They would have totally missed this massive opportunity with their specific person just because they had this representation in their mind that the third party was inhibiting them rather than helping them. And so that's the first example of this working. And then I want to give you another one. Because again, there's countless examples, but I really want to make sure you're able to implement this idea. The second example is I had someone whose specific person, we're working together, so we met up weekly, and their specific person was coming over to spend the night, and they had this same concept or worry because they had a guest room, and they're like, I really want to spend the night with my specific person, but what if they want to sleep in the guest room? It's going to ruin my whole day. It's going to ruin my manifestation. And obviously all the anxiety comes like spewing out. But instead, we again went to this role-playing exercise and made every single possible outcome. And obviously I'm only giving you two examples. You in these experiments or in these techniques, you want to do like as many as you could possibly think of. But in this case, I was like, well, why are we worrying, right? The bridge of events is always working in our favor. So how could their specific person sleeping in the other room or the guest room actually be working out for us? And then so again, I'll give you two examples of what we did. Obviously, we know the benefits of their specific person sleeping with them. They get to cuddle, they get to get close, right? There's obviously the automatic increase in closeness because of that. But if they stay in the other room, imagine how much it's going to be gnawing at them to be like, oh, I wish I was sleeping. I wish I was sleeping with them. That's what your specific person's going to be thinking, right? And you would totally miss this if you did not dive into this concept. It's basically hopefully this is giving you the idea that literally every single situation with your specific person is working out in your favor. But if we have these weird assumptions that are working against it, we're going to literally miss the bridge of events. And that's what Joseph Murphy talks about, in which in order to see divine guidance, you need to be in an enlightened or positive state, because otherwise you can't. Because any one of us would say, if I were to say what's better, the third party coming on your date or you going on a date with your specific person alone, everyone would be like, well, the third party sounds horrible. But with this role-playing idea and this exercise, they were able to literally manifest and create that to be even better for them. In the same case, if I was like, is it better for your specific person to spend the night with you or to spend the night in a different room? And everyone would be like, well, with us. But again, your reality automatically knows the best possible outcome and is creating that for you every single moment at any point in time, constantly. And it doesn't care if we see it or not, because Neville Goddard always talks about we're never meant to worry about how or when our manifestation is going to show up. So literally our universe is trying to give it to us in the most positive way and doesn't care if we can see what this positive way is or not. It just doesn't. It's trying to work to your benefit no matter what. And so this is why any situation, again, if you're going to text them, imagine every possible text that you could receive and then think and create ways in which that's going to work out in your favor. Or maybe a phone call. Imagine going on a phone call. Literally, think of this. If you were to call your specific person right now, would you feel confident? Would you feel so confident and abundant that it's going to work out perfectly? Now, most of us, again, you might be like, absolutely, I'm so confident in that. Some of us might not be so confident. I would say actually most of us won't be as confident in that. But imagine again, thinking of every possible outcome that could happen with your specific person. Would you ever be pulled out of the state, right? Even if you're like, hey, specific person, do you want to hang out tomorrow? And they're like, no, I can't. I'm busy. We, thinking through imagination and creating that outcome to work in our favor, can create and have it be to our benefit rather than the opposite. Because then instead of, if we didn't think of this, if we approached that phone call, we might instantly begin to worry, fear, and kind of press further and get into desperate or needy energy, and which again repels our manifestation, because if we're acting as a pursued individual, by contrast, our mirror in our reality would make our specific person be someone who is pursued and kind of run away from us. But if instead we already thought this through and imagined literally every single possible outcome, then we are going to see everything begin to work automatically, instantly within our favor. And when I tell you, you can make every single situation work out in your favor, I'm saying every single situation, no matter what. It just takes this time to go into our imagination. And once you do it once, you never have to do it again. So once you do this with texting and you're going to text your specific person, this can absolutely change the way you approach your reality. Because even if you text them and they don't text back, dive into your imagination. Why is that working out in your favor? Think about it. How would you approach it? How would you become and stay in a confident and pursued state even at that point in time? And that is going to absolutely change everything. Again, I was thinking, obviously I'm trying to give the best possible information, but I was seriously like, should I even make this video? Because this technique is literally too good. It's too good not to tell you guys, because I love you guys and I want you to be with your specific person in the quickest way possible. And again, hopefully I remember, because someone recently sent me a comment and was like, Kyle, I probably already showed it through editing, but they were like, Kyle, your overnight content literally saved me from spending a lot of money on a manifestation coach who told me it would take 6 months or more. It was a red flag, so I walked away. So someone was telling some coaches telling them they had to wait 6 months to manifest. That's just not the case and not the reality, because you can have anything you want overnight right here, right now. If you did have any questions on this, make sure to comment them down below. Make sure to comment an affirmation that's going to set this intention that my reality is always giving me exactly what I want. Or, and you can comment both of these, my specific person is always on their way to me. I want you to comment one of those two affirmations and intentions down below to literally create and manifest exactly what you want. Again, this is something I use in my members where we meet each and every week for this. So make sure to use and comment this intention. Say it out loud as you comment, or even say it out loud right now, and make sure to give a thumbs up on this video if you really enjoyed it. But remember, you can also reach out to me on my website if you wanted to reach me personally at kyleaugustcoaching.com. Thank you guys so much for stopping by today. I'm literally so excited for you to try this out. Hopefully, again, this video doesn't blow up, because absolutely we want to, well, actually, no, I'm lying. We can't gatekeep this. I cannot gatekeep this anymore. It's too good of a technique. You guys have to use it. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe so more people can see and experience and use this, because abundance is infinite in our reality and every single person can be with their specific person. Again, thank you so much for stopping by today. I'll see you in the next video tomorrow.